I'm going to show you how to do a watercolor painting of a really simple lemon. And I've actually turned these lemons into some products on Society6. Take a look in my shop and find something like this and like this. And it's really easy to do. So enjoy. I am going to be creating individual watercolors of lemons. I'm going to make very juicy lemons. So I'm going to start with a lemon slice here. And I'm breaking these down into just really simple shapes. They don't have to be perfect. I'm going to drive it very lightly. And I'm not going to draw a second circle inside. I'm actually just going to draw these rounded triangles. So I am going to put the center in here so that I can kind of have a reference. But I'm going to draw these rounded, and that will kind of keep the shape more organic. I'm going to just go in and lighten. And I do that by, I don't want to rub with my hand because that gets the oils from your hand on the. So here is my pen. There it is. Okay, you can see my pencil drawing. It's really just like almost like a flower. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my watercolor. Here's the watercolor. And here's my water, and I have a paper towel and silver, black velvet, and they are really, really pointy, and I love them. And I mean, I've got a ton of different paintbrushes, but these are my favorite. Yeah, here's a good size. So I've got an 8 and I've got a 4. I also really like, these are good for outlining if I decide I want to do that. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, since I'm making an illustration, which is a little bit less like my other style that you've seen on my YouTube channel, and a little bit more illustrative. I don't know. Okay. I mean, obviously a lemon is yellow. So I'm going to pick a couple of colors that I'm going to use in my lemon. Okay. So I'm going to just put some water in here. And I'm going to go get a really bright yellow. Lots of water, lots of yellow. Maybe I'll get a little bit of this yellow too. All right, and I'm not going to wet my paper. So in the past you've seen me wet my paper. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to go in and I am going to leave white between my my lines so that I can add some kind of interesting colors. It's just a new technique here. All right, so I'm going to just do a couple like this, and I'm leaving white in between each one of these little triangles. I'm not going to do all of them because I don't want the paint to dry. So I'm just going to do 2 right now. I'm going to make sure that that paint stays really, really dense and juicy by going back. Okay, now I'm going to go get a different paintbrush because I want to. And I'm just going to go, and I'm not really even looking at my reference because there's nothing really in my reference except yellow and more yellow. So the opposite of yellow is purple. I'm just going to drop some purple in there. I'm just dropping it. I'm not going to paint it. I'm just dropping it. That's going to create a contrast. That's going to kind of act like a shadow, but it's also going to just kind of act really cool. And then I'm also going to go in with a little bit of orange, just a little bit of a lighter orange, in just a couple of spaces, and I'll just put some dots in there. I kind of want to try white because there's so many highlights in here. I don't think white's going to work very well, but let's just see what happens. I'm going to probably go back afterwards and add some white gouache. I'm going to go back with a little bit of a red, maybe. Woo! All right, so I'm going to go do another one now. I'm not going to mix those colors in. I'm not going to do anything to, I'm just going to let the paint do what it's going to do. And it'll do some fun things. Okay, so again, I'm going to take a wet brush. I'm going to go pick up some purple. I'm going to go into the center right here with purple. Maybe in this one, I'm going to try a little bit of green, just see what happens, because I don't want to be predictable. So I'm just going back into some of the really super wet places and just tapping in a little bit more interesting colors because they'll just spread out, but I'm making sure it's only in the wet places. If you put anything in the dry places, it won't spread. And I'm looking at my reference, but it's not really, I'm not following the reference at all right now. I only followed the reference really for the shape. I am going to go back afterwards and add white gouache on top where the white highlights are. So that's going to make it really, kind of give it more of a lemon look afterwards. So what I am going to do now is, because I haven't touched the outside edges, I'm going to take some of just a slightly darker lemon, or slightly darker orangish yellow. I'm going to add a little bit of kind of mix orange yellow here. Maybe can I add to this? I like mixing colors because then they separate. Of course, I have gotten yellow on the paper. I always do that. I'm really a very sloppy painter, but in the end, it all works out. Okay, so I am going to take this and, again, lots of water, and I'm going to go around the edge. I don't want it to be too orange, though, because then it's going to look like an orange and not a lemon. So I'm going to make sure there's lots of yellow in that. And I'm making sure it's very, very wet. Before I go too far, I'm just going to drip some colors in there. A little bit more purple along the outside edges. Let's try to zoom in here so you can see. I know that I should be drawing darker. Try to draw a little darker so you can see this. So I'm just drawing these triangles. There we go. Here's the edge, and then I am going to do a full lemon now, I think. Really, the only thing about a lemon is that it just has this little thing on the end that makes it a lemon opposed to something else. There. Okay, so there's my lemon. All right, so just this really, really bright lemon color. And then the area that I want it to be, I'm going to really lots and lots of water. The area that I want to be white, I'm actually going to use a paper towel and pull up the so when it's really wet like this, you can just control where you want the color to be. Want it to be super, super dense. So now I'm just going to get a little paper towel, and I want my highlight And I use, it's actually if you put more water where you want your highlight to be, and then go in with a paper towel, it's going to pick up that color in that spot. And so a there we go. All right, now I'm going to drop in some colors. So again, I'm going to go back in with purple where I want my shadows. So I want some shadows up here. Let's take my smaller paintbrush. Let's see, I want this color purple. Some shadows here. All right. I want shadows kind of all around the edges, so I'm just going to kind of tap in where I want those to go. And I want some orange. So again, I'm making some oranges in here. Ooh, pretty. You can't really control what happens, so that's going to be super cool. All right. I think I want some darks over here somewhere. And I kind of want a shadow on here, right there somewhere. Okay. I kind of want a shadow over here. Kind of want a shadow everywhere. All right. Now, around my highlight, I want some fun colors. So maybe, and I'm going to probably go in and make that highlight pop after the fact. So I'm going to put some green in there. And what else do I want in there? My orange is coming around nicely. Just dripped some water on there. And if, if water just drops on there, sometimes that can do some fun things. So I'm just going to kind of let some water droplets on there, although my water's kind of brown right now. I don't want it to, it's pooling. So I'm not going to put too much more on there. Just looking at that, seeing if there's any other colors that I can see in that reference photo. Red, I feel like I see red. So red right around here. There.
So after I painted these lemons, I scanned them in and used Photoshop to remove the background and created these products that I posted on my Society 6 shop. For tutorials on how to do this, check out my YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe.